Well, hey kids, I guess I'm back. I don't know what happened. My live stream looked, everything was fine, and then there was no more comments and nobody talking to me anymore. Everybody left. I was so lonely, I didn't have anybody to talk to. Anyhow, yeah, so I thought I'd come up on deck. I'm not sure what happened there, kids. Right in the middle of the live stream, it looked like everything looked like it was fine on my end. Everything looked like it was just fine, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't there. Nobody was responding. Nobody was commenting. I asked questions and nobody responded to it. So here I am. So yeah, I'm back. I found you. Hey, Country Cruiser. Yeah. Well, I decided since we had to have an intermission, a a little unannounced. Oh, look at that. A water taxi's going by. You guys see the water taxi? He's about right over there somewhere. He's going in front of that sailboat right about now. That's the water taxi passing in front of that sailboat. My buddy out there on the water taxi driving around. They're really good, Pope. They're really good folks. So, anyhow, guys, I'm sitting out here. I decided since we had a little break, a little intermission, I'd make myself a new cocktail and come up on deck and enjoy the evening. So you can see Miss Lily is hovering overhead. Kind of a scary situation, actually, having a dog over my head like that. And we have a little sailing going on in the bay. As you can see over here behind me. Oh, gosh. Let me get comfortable here on my seat. You see over there, there's some sailing. Hi, dog. How are you? Yes, thank you for licking my ear. I really appreciate that. Just what I wanted was a wet ear this evening. The water taxi guy is in the midst of doing a tour. For anybody that wants to, you can come here to Port Washington and hail the water taxi on Channel 9 or call them on the so we can talk about various people that lived here and where they were. I thought you guys might like going on with them and go for a tour around the bay, doing a little history. So, I don't know. Right now, I've got really bright sunshine in my eyes. Really bright sunshine. I got to move my boom over to give me some shade. But anyhow, here's a little bit of what the bay looks like right now. There's a couple of the yacht club boats out there having a little club sail. So let me see if I can see the chat. I don't know if I can even see it in this light, guys. Next time, make some popcorn. There you go. Oh man, I can't see that. Hold on, I'm gonna have to turn around here and get someplace where I can see the chat. Let me get you guys down lower where I can read it. Oh, thanks for the time to give you another beer. There you go. Dude, what was that call? I have no idea, Lazar. I don't know what happened. It's just like all of a sudden the YouTube stream stopped. So, need an antenna extension to go up top. I don't know. I mean, it showed that I had 3 bars and I still had 3 bars. So, next time, make us some popcorn. Hey, everybody. Hey, Andy. How you doing, man? I'm back. Hello. Plastic. See, looking good too. Yep. Hey ho, Lily to land. Yep. Can you handle your boat alone or watching for crew before sailing? I can handle my boat just fine, thank you. Hello again, much better outside. All right, no plastic. Hey, no plastic. Did you like the first half of this where I was talking about plastics? I thought you'd find that interesting. Doesn't matter, it's better than before. Okay, hey, John Dolan. Yeah, Miss Lily, by the way, just so you guys know, Miss Lily has found a new spot on the boat. You see where she's sitting right now? That's her new spot. She has decided that is her spot on the boat. She sits up on the cabin roof just to the side of the mast there. And she actually spent, I would say she spent 2.5, maybe 3 hours out there today. Just sitting up there watching the boats move around the bay. She just sits up there at the highest vantage point she can get, as high up on the deck as she can get. And she just sits there and watches all the other boats go by. Earlier today, there was a bunch of kids out playing around with sailboats, so she was watching them sailing by. Of course, they kind of used our boat as a buoy to turn around. So their boats were coming down here, going around my boat, and then going back to wherever they were racing around. And so Miss Lily thought that was fun, where all the kids were laughing and giggling at her. So she had a great deal of fun with that. But more importantly, one of the things we did today, which was really cool and at the same point a bit of a bummer, I put the Lily cam. I showed you guys earlier and asked if anybody could identify what I was holding in my hand. I think that happened just as we lost the stream earlier. But what I did is I had the Lily cam. I had her harness set up so that I could put the camera on her and have you guys look at a dog's perspective of what it's like for her to jump from my boat over to the water taxi to the dock, and then we walked over to well, first we walked over to the beach, and she went and ran around and played in the beach and the mussels and the mud and all that stuff for a while. It was about mid-tide when she did that. And then we walked over to West Marine, and she ran around West Marine store. But for some reason, now with my GoPro, it'll record and break up the recording into like 12-minute pieces. So when we got close to West Marine, and while we were in West Marine, for some reason that camera had a problem and did not record it. It recorded her getting off the boat onto the launch, from the water taxi onto the dock, from the dock while she was playing, walking down the street. It got all of that stuff fine, but right at the very end where we got towards West Marine and while running around in West Marine, it didn't, the Lily cam didn't record that for some reason. It seemed like it had some sort of an error with the SD card, and yet I've uploaded all the video files and re-recorded over on the SD card, and it works just fine. So I'm not really sure what happened, but we lost some of the Lily cam footage of her inside the West Marine camp. Now, with that said, I did have my GoPro session on my head, so I have, video footage of her running around West Marine. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but it's pretty fun. One of the things I love to do is just kind of fun at West Marine. They don't mind the dog coming in the store, so as soon as I walk in the front door, I unclip her off her leash and just let her run wild in the store. And I got to admit, Mike, the manager over there, he's pretty good-hearted about it, and he likes Lily, he likes petting her and playing with her. So he kind of puts up with it and lets her run around. At the time, I was, in fact, the only customer in the store, but I thought, at least anyway. But then we did see another customer, so I had to clip her back up and restrain her a little bit. But she had fun running up and down the aisles in West Marine and looking at all the stuff. She does seem to enjoy that. And you can see her here in her lion pose. I don't know if you guys can see that. I can't see what the camera is shooting at, but there she is in her lion pose up on the deck, laying in some rope that I worked on today. This is sort of interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Lily, can I get this rope out from under you? This is eight ply. This is 4-braid line that's doubled up. There's 2 lines. Are you going to chew on that? Thank you. It's 2 lines. Don't chew on the anchor line. Leave it alone, you goofball. Anyhow, stop. It's not for you. Anyhow, it's 4 lines, and each line is doubled for 8-line plate. And so what I did today, get off there. Get off of it. She's laying down on it. She's using it as a bed. So what I did today, and I don't know if I can show it to you here, I made a loop and I braided. Here you can see the braid. It's pretty ugly, but I braided a loop in the one end of this line. This is the old anchor line. Lily, go get. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go back. All right, now you can come back on it. There you go. Just had to move her out of the way, so I put that up there. Anyhow, I played around with trying to braid the 8-ply. You guys saw me do a video of me braiding the 3-ply. I tried to braid some 8-ply, and I made an ugly mess of it. It worked. It's very strong. I was following some guy's directions on how to go about doing it. It's called the 2-up, 2-down method. But I think it makes for a fairly ugly looking rope. What it does is it makes the rope flat on one side and then double the width on the other side, as opposed to just being all the way around round bigger. It concentrates all of the braiding on the two sides and not in the middle. I don't know how else best to explain that, but it was my first time messing with it, and it was, well, it was just pretty interesting, actually. I had some fun braiding that today. So with that said, let me see if I can go back and see the chat. I can't see anything while I'm sitting here, so bear with me here a moment. So go back. Low again, much better outside. Doesn't matter, it's better than before. Hey, John Dolan, okay, that's where I was at. JF, you're probably looking for land. I don't think so. You need to buy a $10 Japanese straw hat that covers 1 square meter around your head. Yeah. Hey, Steve, I've been looking for a hat. I just haven't found one yet. Actually, guys, I have a hat here somewhere on the boat. I just got to find that hat. So I just smashed 2 large orders of cheese curds and a large cheddar pepper. Oh, okay, Jeffrey. Yep, I hope you can use your video. This is how I got to this channel. Okay, well, no plastics. I'm working on it, buddy. I'm working on it. I'm back. Hey, Jared, what's up? Finally, update up on deck for us. Thanks. Yes, JD. It's very difficult to be up on deck because I can't see the chat and I don't have any way of charging my phone while I'm up here. But yes, I'm up on deck. Hey, Don, how you doing? He doesn't even answer my question. Steve, I didn't see your question. I'm sorry. Ask it again. I'll try to answer it. Peace. Oh my God, I lost 10 days of my life, Carl. Today is July 28th, not the 18th. Ha, evening, sir. No, today's the 18th. They're really nice, big, wide rim straw hats in men's sizes at Walmart. You know, JD, I walked all over Walmart trying to find one, and I could not find one here at the Walmart that I was in on Long Island. So, ask me and I'll do my best. I'm back much better. Good for Lily. Good catch, Vicky. How many dabs does it take you to fall down? How many dabs does it take you? What the hell are you talking about, Steve? How many dabs does it take you to fall? I don't fall down. One, looks like the Sphinx. Poor Lily. Why are you saying poor Lily? My dog's got the life of Riley here, JF. You have no idea what you're talking about. Don't do those since I friend about 2 years ago. Jeffrey Madsen, $2 on Super Chat. Thank you, Jeffrey. I really appreciate that donation. And I'll tell you something, guys. Right now, that is really, really needed. So thank you very much, Jeffrey. I am, my economic situation is dire at the moment. So every little bit helps. We're happy to have him back, whatever the date. There you go. Carl, shave your head into a Chinese ponytail, grow a goatee, and put an earring on. Yeah, I don't think so, Steve. Anytime, Grandpa is my dog. Thanks, Jeffrey. I love goatees so much for appealing. Okay. Good evening to you, Carl. Sure looks nice there right now. Oh, man, New Florida is beautiful right now. Yes, I'm back, Slipstream. Sorry about that. So are you. Okay. Top chat or live chat? There's a good question, though, Plastic. Yep. Once again, I started a new live stream and it went to top chat and not live chat. Thank you for reminding me of that. So now I have to scroll back through and see all the questions I missed. Guys, if I missed your question, please ask it again. So I can't go back through all this stuff all over again. So if I missed your question, if I didn't respond to you, just know that my phone was set to the wrong setting. Please, please go ahead and ask again. So, Doug by Carla Fedora. Yeah, keeps buffering on my end. So I'll watch later. Have a good night. Okay, 9mm to James. Hey, James, I appreciated your comment earlier today, man. Header has 28. Oh, well, yeah, well. I tried to hit 18 and my big fingers and small T's. I'll try to correct that later on. So, to you labeling your chat tonight live? Yeah, well, okay, 28th. Okay, I get it. Yep, I tried to hit 18th. The 2's next to the 1, guys. I probably hit the 2. I just wanted to hurry up and get back online. So, okay. Did you the adhesive caulk? I bought the adhesive caulk. I've not used it yet. You are almost as long-winded as I am. Haha. Don't try to compare now. Johnny Hag, if you asked a question and I missed it, I'm sorry I didn't see it. So between top chat and live chat. Yeah, Frank, with top chat, I don't miss any of the comments. With live chat, I don't miss any of them. With top chat, I miss some of the comments. So thanks, Johnny. He must have misread it because the sun, no problem. Yep, absolutely. Have you done the generator oil change? It's your lifeblood.com. Yeah, actually, Mike, I've done an oil change. Actually, I was going to touch base with you guys about something, but I'll get that in a minute. Anchor Arachna 33 held last night, dragging no winds, peaked at 63 knots. Yeah, slipstream. My Arachna 33 held like a champ last night. It wasn't a question. I was merely commenting on someone else's noticing that you talk. Okay, guys, I made a mistake. Okay, my big finger hit the 2 instead of the 1. Smoking Eurostat. Okay. Yeah, actually, talking about the oil change, I was going to touch base with you on something. Oh! Now, I hate, as you guys know from the previous thing, I hate buying plastic or anything in plastic. But I also try to come up with creative ways to recycle plastic when I need to buy some. I try to go to the grocery store and buy some luncheon meat so that I could have some luncheon meat for some sandwiches on board the boat. So I could make some, bologna sandwiches, turkey sandwiches, whatever. You can't buy luncheon meat unless it's wrapped in some kind of plastic nowadays. Anyhow, I saw this smoked honey turkey breast in this little plastic container. And I thought, well, that's great, because you know what? This is the exact size container I need to do oil changes on my generator. And so I am recycling the plastic as a oil pan for changing the oil in my generator. This is now going to become my generator oil pan. It's just the right size for 1 pint of motor oil. And that, guys, is a way of dealing with plastic. That's a way that you can deal with plastic to some degree. If you're going to have to buy plastic, which you almost have no choice today but to buy some stuff in plastic, at least try to figure out some way of recycling it for yourself, or making a second or third or fourth use for it to make it somewhat worthwhile for having bought it in the first place. So I try to avoid it at all costs, but in this case, I'm going to recycle that and use it as an oil pan for my generator. So, okay, now what I miss? Wow, a lot. You guys talk a lot. Okay, Anchor Rock, okay. It wasn't a question. Okay, I was merely smoking. Status low. Future. Mouse show you. Carl, please send me something about that research. Yeah, Eleazar, like I said, I will tell you what, Eleazar, send me an email at alaskacarl@gmail.com. Alaska like to say Carl with a C @gmail.com, and I will send you back a link to that research, okay? Yeah, me too at Johnny Hag. I get way too long-winded on here. I type babble nonstop all the time. I guess that is the banker in me. Uh-oh, JD's a banker. That's not good. Good, Kelly Green keeps my eyes blue. Okay. Carl, I use some containers for my lawnmowers and snow blowers. Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad you're recycling them then. Carl, you fall back in the chat so far. We start talking amongst ourselves and everybody has been related to the same question. Yeah, Maui Lei, I can't help that, man. I got to go back and see what I missed, I guess. So, what do you do when it is full of used oil? I very carefully pour it back into the plastic bottle that the new oil came in. So I'll drain the oil into the pan, I'll put new oil into the engine, and I'll put that oil back into the original bottle, and then I'll take that to an oil recycling center to have that oil recycled. So, yes, Eleazar, alaskacarl@gmail.com. Very good, thank you. It's a beautiful day tomorrow. Billy the kid thought to crank up the charcoal and go get some firewood. There you go. There you go. Hit thanks, thumbs up, guys. Yes, please do. 82 people watching, only 16 people thumbs up. So, hey, Christine. Yeah, I've been banking finance field since the early 80s. Oops, I'm showing my age now. Yeah, JD, I can relate to that. I used to be in banking, and so not banking. I was in securities industry and the insurance industry, late 70s and early 80s. So I couldn't do that for a living anymore. I thought at one time that if you want to make money, you should study money. I mean, that just seemed like duh, makes sense, right? You want to make money, study money. So I learned about the securities industry and the insurance industry and financial planning, and I got licensed as a mutual fund salesman. I got licensed as a Medicare supplement, health insurance salesman, and then I went into full lines casualty, and I never did car insurance, but life insurance and health insurance and all that kind of stuff. Got involved in the securities industry. In fact, I've got an NASD. Let me see if I can remember them all at this point. I have a Series 6, which is for mutual funds, a Series 7, which is stockbroker, a Series 8, which is commodities. I have a 63, a 53, a 24. These are all license numbers through the National Association of Security Dealers. Basically what I became was a licensed securities principal. In other words, I had enough licensing through the National Association of Securities Dealers to be my own Wall Street firm. Although at the time I was working as a branch manager for Robert Thomas Securities in Lancaster, Ohio, which is a division of Raymond James down out of Florida. And I had a number of stock jocks, agents, and stuff working for me, stockbrokers. And I ran the office there in Lancaster, Ohio for a while. But I was really tired. Although Ray J, I have to admit, Robert Thomas Securities and Ray J was really good about trying to do things correctly. Still, there was that corporate structure of, hey, we're bringing this company public, so you should sell so many shares of this, and we're bringing this company public, and you should sell so many shares of this, and whether it was right for my clients or not, whether it met their risk portfolio or not, there was always this pressure to sell stuff that I just didn't feel was appropriate for my client base, and so I couldn't do it anymore. I just the ethics and morals of it, I just couldn't do it anymore. So that's why I got out of the securities industry and went into the real estate industry. I've never sold a house to anybody. I didn't think that house would be absolutely perfect for them. So I guess so. Anyhow, that's just a little bit of my background. Of course, I'm sure all the trolls will go out there and say, "Oh, well, we couldn't find this or whatever." Yeah, go screw them. Let me go back to the chat and see what I missed again. Man, I got the sun right in my eyes, guys. It's really hard to see. I'm not gonna go thumbs up if no one can see them. What good are thumbs up? Well, I don't know, selling fool. All those people that give thumbs down, give them anyway. So, states are for fire right now. Heat was okay. I don't know what that's about. Plastic Key West is huge. It's so nice to see all the recycling bins. Yes, isn't that nice? Thank you, Steve. Yes, but not so much the good ones. And knowing me, it would be a fatal mistake. Our forests are hardwood. Okay. Did you get a reply email about liability insurance today? I did not, Paul. Thank you very much for asking. No, I asked Boat US to send me an application. The last conversation I had with the clown was that he was going to send me an email telling me what photographs of my boat he needed. And I never did get that from him. But I've gone on and I've been contacting another number of other insurance companies anyway. So, action in the chat and the like will be on the left and hit the live chat. Okay. Might not be on all phones. All right. Almost everything is recycled, including organic. Yep. We're in a fire zone. We had reprieve from brush fires this year. Oh man, when I lived in Montana, we had a lot of brush fires. So you want to help out Carl, could donate to them. Hey, thank you, Frank. I appreciate that, buddy. Yep, hit my PayPal account, guys. Every little bit helps, guys. Right now, I am really hurting for certain. So if you guys want to donate some cash, now would be the time. We do talk a lot. We are a community. That's right, Steve. That's right. That's what I'm trying to build here is a community. So, Mike, with practice easy and hardwoods is good hunting grounds. Yes, it is. We have not touched on recycling condoms. Just a joke. Guys, be easy. Yeah, well. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. Sad thing about recycling is since the tariff, China doesn't want our stuff. Yeah, well, how much do you need? All I can get, Alicia. Hey, SV. I'm sorry, I can barely see that in the sunlight here. SV Alicia Avalon. Thank you very much. I appreciate you asking. Well, I need a lot. My monthly budget is $600. I'm down to less than 100 right now. So, Woody, is that a Prelude recycled? Have you checked insurance through Boat or the other tow company? Bubba, yes. Boat US is who I contacted first, and Boat US is the one who's not followed up with me. So, did you spend the money you took for the anchor already? Yes, I bought an anchor, JF. Imagine that. Carl, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We are a community. We are multitasking, listening to you and talking amongst ourselves. I understand that, Steve. No problem. I mean, Steve, that's the whole point. I mean, that's the whole reason why I have this channel. I'm glad that we have a community and people are getting to know each other, become friends with each other. That's what this is all about. So let's enjoy learning about the community and different lifestyles. Maybe a 5-minute Ask the Watcher segment. Learn about who is who in the zoo. Well, you know, Mike Smith, that's not a bad idea, huh? Iceland used to have forests, but JF, why is that funny? That makes no sense. They charged all the trees. They started cooking with lamb poo and ate delicious lamb cooked with poo. Okay. Yes, Mr. Smith. So, yeah, Mike, that's not a bad idea. So why don't you guys do that? Everybody kind of introduce yourself and you know, give a little spiel about your background. You know, what kind of sailing you do, since this is a sailing channel, or if you don't sail, why you're here watching me, that kind of thing. That might be fun and interesting to do. I have no problem with that. And while we're in the process of doing that, let's do the shout outs. If you guys have a YouTube channel and you want to promote your YouTube channel a little bit, go ahead and give yourself a shameless plug right now. Say, hey, I'm a YouTuber and come check out my channel. I know Slipstream's on here. They have a channel. Who else has a channel? Feel free to jump up and say, hey, yeah, check out my YouTube channel. So you already bought it. It was in Doug's trunk. Yes, Mary, that's correct. I already bought my anchor. It was in Doug's trunk. Oh, you mean with the money that the other fella gave me when he ran over my anchor line? Yes. Bill, he's in the porn industry. Yes, he is. Yeah, those funds were used on some menial tasks like gasoline and groceries. Imagine that. So, and I took Doug out to dinner. I treated Doug and his wife to a wonderful dinner because they've been such great hosts to me and have done such a great job of driving me around and running around and chauffeuring me places. So I bought some steaks and some nice pastries and stuff, and we had a really pleasant evening with Doug and my buddy Steve Insing at his house. I had a really pleasant barbecue, and some of those funds were used for that part. And as you guys well know, $430 does not go very far, guys. So for those of you that think, oh, I got all that money from that anchor, well, you know, that lasted all of about a day and a half, guys. So let's be real. And Right Forge are incredibly funny and informative channel. Yeah, well, you know what? You just got yourself booted, Daring Daver. So I meant film because they are always screwing us. Okay. Thank you, Pilot. I appreciate you doing that. I don't sail yet, but we'll be taking ASA lessons and buy myself a boat. After that, I fish and scuba dive. Hey, Gene, that's cool. Yeah, ASA is a great program, man. The American Sailing Association, I know at a lot of the boat shows, they do these, like, you know, tri-sailing thing, and they're free. So if you go to like the Annapolis Boat Show, or if you go to the Newport Boat Show, or the Miami Boat Show, they'll let you go out and go sailing for a day for free. Well, not a day, but an hour or so. They'll take you out and they'll basically show you the ropes, so to speak, quite literally. So it's always a fun thing to do. So Gene, I'm glad to hear that. So, oh, what else I missed? Ha. It's good to hear some areas are actually going backwards. Okay. If on no titles, please. Commercial fisherman now expiring beekeeper. 50 hive, 60-40 just us. Oh, hey, Bubba, that's cool. You know, I had bees up in Alaska, man. I thought that was just so interesting to raise bees. Really is interesting. Kind of a shame with all the bee the hive dying off and stuff from all the poisons being put out in the fields. All that Roundup, you know, crap just killing the bees like crazy. So, actually, the Iceland meat was grilled with poo. $430 a chump change these days. Yes, it is. Bubba says he's 64 years old. Okay, cool. We have a school here in Boston. Bubba, have your bees dying a lot? Yeah, right. We really didn't get much from the guy because if you have to pay someone to repair the fiberglass and gel coat, it would have cost a lot more than that. Well, Frank, you're absolutely right. And I had to buy some supplies to do the gel coat repair from the damage his boat did to mine. But, you know, these trolls just want to support their own agenda and they don't really care about the reality of life. So, that raised in NorCal. Ex-cop, Mike Smith, ex-cop, learned to sail on tall ships, worked on mega yachts in the past, looking to buy World Cruiser next 3 years, 420. Spade is a spade and don't tolerate wankers. Oh, Mike, I love your attitude, dude. I really do. Do you make mead with the honey? I'm a home brewer. Hey, there you go, Gene. Gene and Bubba get together. We'll have some beer, guys. We'll have some home brew. Some mead. That's some pretty good stuff. So, you're getting twisted on the boats cruising the coast. No, not really. Carl, bees are gone because of the no tobacco farms. Oh. I don't know. I had bees up in Alaska, but up in Alaska, the bees couldn't win over. It was too cold for them, so we had to buy new nuc boxes and bring up a new queen and a new batch of bees every year. I'm glad you treated Doug. Good news. You are set to complete the boat projects. Better news. You have booze on board. Yeah, well, no plastic. Yes, I have a plethora of booze on board, thanks to Mike Donegan. Doug and I hopefully will be getting to welding the push pit here very quickly, next day or two, hopefully, and I can get that reassembled. And at this point, yes, I pretty much have all the supplies on board that I'm aware of that I need. I have everything now that I believe I need to get the projects done that I'm going to be working on. Oh, look at the dog sleeping up on the deck. He's such a sleepy dog. So now it's just a matter of getting to that. But, you know, the leg bone's connected to the knee bone, and we got to get the push pitch welded and up first. So, yep, and Doug and his wife certainly deserved a really good night's out. So, what's up with all the wired FN comments? Some of these people are effing off their rockers. AJ, I agree with you 100%. There's some real whack jobs out there. So, honeybees love tobacco, I'm sure. Only at anchor. Okay, bees are doing well here. If you treat for Verona mites, yep, it's a monocrop farming that kills them. Yeah, and Bubba, you know, you touched on something there that a lot of these people in the sailing industry aren't aware of. But the biggest problem that's happened with farming in America is what's known as monoculture. Farmers have become hog farmers, or they become dairy farmers, or they become grain farmers. Instead of having the old-time family farm where people would raise all of those things, and sometimes when you have all the times, when you have all of those things on your farm at one time, there's a certain synergy, there's a certain environment where one works with the other, and it all kind of, it's like a big orchestra, and it plays out some beautiful music when they all work together. But what's happened is the factory farms have come along and have made everybody go to monoculture, and that's really screwed with our entire agricultural system. I'm a big advocate for getting back to the family farm where you have grandpa raising, he's got chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, hogs, cows, dairy, beef, all on the same farm, and a big vegetable garden. We need to get back to those days and get rid of all this chemical crap and all this factory farming that's going on. But, that's just me. So, Rona mites are a newish thing. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Do you still hear from Mike Donican? Yes, I hear from Mike Donican all the time, Slipstream. Thank you. Yep, he's a good friend. He doesn't like being public. He doesn't like coming out here on the chat. Frankly, he's concerned about getting retribution from all the trolls and stuff and getting crap from them. So Mike tends to keep very private and contact me privately. So, do you have or follow the Manuka microbial honey thing? No, probably not. Might make me this year. Cool. Andy from SoCal. Hey, Andy, not a sailor, but enjoy the channel and doodles due to the interesting content and learning about sailing, getting ready to retire, and look forward to future content. Well, Andy, I'm looking forward to providing that for you, buddy, because you've been a really good friend to me for a long time, and I appreciate that. Come check out Takahashi Maru. There's Steve, Instagram. Come look at beautiful shots of East Coast, Bahamas, Caribbean, and the Florida Keys. Yep. Steve is out there sailing on the Takahashi Maru. Peanut allergies come from feeding cows peanut plants to increase milk production. I've never fed peanuts to my cows. I wouldn't know about that, Akula, but thanks for letting me know that. Factory farming is a plague. It certainly has. Plants bloom at different times, helps bees. Yes, Bub, that's true. Frank Daniel says, I love to make wine, do woodworking and auto repairs. I cook all Italian food from scratch, including pasta and cured meats, such as prosciutto, capicola, and sausage. And for those of you guys who don't speak Italian and don't understand that, that's prosciutto and capicola, not capicolo. It's prosciutto and capicola. Actually, it's prosciutto and capicola. And while you're saying things like prosciutto and capicola, you should also say, hey, leave the gun, bring the cannolis. Frank, you sound familiar to me, minus the wine and meat snacks. Okay. Darning Daver. Hey, Waukesha Pilot, you have my permission to ban Darning Daver. Don't get me started. CAFOs plus hashtag factory farms. There you go, plastics. I mean, also, yep. Wow, Frank, that's cool. Sounds good. Frank, dinner at Frank's. Yeah. Frank curing meat is an art. Smoking, it certainly is. It certainly is, yes. And I've been known to produce some really good bacon. But when I make bacon, it's from pigs that I've raised from scratch. And where I've made sure what I feed my pigs is good, I raise the pigs right, and then I cure the bacon correctly without nitrates. And man, I tell you what, when I was farming, I made some awesome bacon. So, oh, cool. Thanks so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. There you go, Frank. I can make kebabs, but I'm not going to make some gabagool. Some gabagool. Frank, you're welcome. St. Lucia anytime. There you go, AJ. Done, boss. Thank you, Pilot. Appreciate it. No problem. Wine and beer maker here. There you go, Akula. You know, Akula, I've never made wine. I've always wanted to make wine. I have homebrewed beer a lot. A lot. But I've not made, oh man, Sunset is just, the sunset is extraordinary right now. Unfortunately, if I were to turn my phone towards the sunset right now, it's so bright it would blow it out. But yeah, I've made a lot of beer. In fact, when I was hog farming up in Alaska, there was the Talkeetna Brewing Company right there. And I would go and buy all the, not buy, they would give me all the spent brewer's grain. They would give me totes and totes and totes and totes of spent brewer's grain. Each tote was 4 feet by 4 feet by like 2.5 feet deep. About 700 to 800 pounds of spent brewer's grain. I would go over there with my trailer, and they would load up all I could carry. They would put more on my trailer than my trailer could haul. I always had to tell them, no, I can't take that much. I can't take that much. I would get like 6 or 8 totes at a time, bring it down, and feed my hogs. My hogs loved it. My pigs were drunk all the time from the spent brewer's grain because it was fermented barley and stuff. And man, did my pork taste good. So, all right, guys, I'm going to give you an idea what the sunset looks like. It may blow out the camera, so let's hope it works okay. There you go. Can you see that? Now that's New York there, outside. That's across Long Island Sound looking at New York. Connecticut would be over to the right there, to the east, but that's the sunset that I have in my eyes right now, so it's really pretty. Oh man. Okay. Oh, I missed a bunch of chat. Wow, you guys were talkative. Wine is no harder to make than beer. You know, I'd really like to learn how to make wine. I'm not a winemaker, so I'm an IPA and Pilsner guy. Danica Patrick owns a winery. I love making wine. Akula, I have a full Delo style still. Oh, you know, Steve, I always thought about that. Buying a still would be fun. So I love drinking wine. Lovely man. That Port Washington. Actually, Eleazar, that's Port Washington up here behind me. That's Port Washington, that direction. Looking at the other direction out across Long Island Sound, that's looking over to New York on the north side of Long Island Sound. So I need to get that boat registered before the people on that other channel report you about the transit thing. Saw people talking, by the way, the sunset up here is sweet. RV camp life, let them talk. I am legally a boat in transit, and they can jump up and down, yell and scream, and fart out their asses all they want. Always wanted to build one. Good luck. Thank you. Hey, Frank D. I also do woodworking and like to smoke meat. No jokes, please. Hey, Gene, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I love smoking my own bacon and hams. I've smoked turkeys. I've smoked all kinds of things, man. They are hard to keep lit, though. They tend to bogart. There are two of you on Instagram, sub to both. Wine is easier, no boiling. Okay. It's okay to smoke meat, Gene. Apparently smoking cigars in the USA is a problem. Yeah, Mike, it's getting to be. Yeah, David, I'm trying to get rid of one of them right now or combine them to figuring that out. Okay. Caught up with the chat. Wow, imagine that. Little power boat going by. A little chaparral. Three guys going out. Gonna do a little late night fishing, I guess. You can see Miss Lily's all alarmed because the boat came by our boat too close. So Eleazar says, Frank, I do some basic woodworking in my landlord's backyard with a circular saw and speed square. Oh, cool, Eleazar. That's nice. Ghetto style. There you go. I like that. You know, Eleazar, actually, I used to do a lot of woodworking. I had a woodworking shop set up for myself when I was in Montana. In fact, I was a 4-H woodworking coordinator, a woodworking teacher. The 4-H program there in Livingston, Montana, I was the 4-H woodworking instructor. Not only woodworking, but I did woodworking, shooting sports, photography, horses, dog. We were 4-H leaders in a number of things, but yeah, I used to do woodworking. I got kind of ticked off with it though, because there were too many parents that would do the woodworking for their kids just so they could bring the item to the state fair and sell it for top dollars. Well, the kid really didn't do the work, the parents did. So it kind of ticked me off a little bit, but you know, it's just my nature, I guess. So David dear, what's up, mate? David. Favorite wood is ash and walnut. Okay. I never liked walnut. Walnut always makes me itchy, Wood Beast. Walnut always makes me itchy. Carl, since your other live stream failed, you owe us an extra 20, 30 minutes on this one. Okay, David, dear. You're on, buddy. You're on. We'll hang out. We'll hang out, ma'am. Doing the cheat makes some simple wine, and he loves it. Nice. I love walnut and purple heart. Oh yeah, man, purple heart is great to work with, but walnut always makes me itch. Well, any of the nut woods tend to make me itch. So, how about that companionway door? Did you finish it? Still in the works. AJ, I got it painted. No, I haven't primed. I don't have it painted yet. I don't have the finished paint on. There it is, primed. It's all cut out and it's primed. I just haven't gotten back to the painting yet. With all the storms and stuff that's been going on, and the other running around, I just haven't gotten it done yet. I've got it and the seat for the outhouse all primed. I got to pull them out one day, sand them all down, and get them refinished so I can get that done. Hopefully I'll get that done here next day or two, but I'll make my own bee equipment and lots of woodwork, but the same things over and over. Yeah, Bubba, I know what you're talking about, man. Making those nut boxes and building out the bee boxes and risers and stuff. It's pretty simple kind of stuff. I like to do a lot of dovetail joining in that. I had a jig. I want to say it was a Craig jig. It wasn't a Craig jig. I'm trying to remember who made it. I had a jig where I could make all the dovetails pretty easily with my router. Back in the day when I had a wood shop, I really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. So the water taxi is going around, obviously with another tour again. I don't know if you guys can see him, but there's the water taxi out there crossing the bay right now. There's the sun getting lower on the horizon. Something tells me we're going to have a pretty awesome sunset here in a little bit. They're beautiful together. Pilot, we can only wish wood was in it. It's an orange wood. That's so cool. Good evening, Carly. Lady. Hey, Chief Hasbin. How you doing, man? Okay, so I'm way back in the chat. My girlfriend says wood every morning with a smile. Yeah. How? The hydrophone. No, I really haven't had a chance to go back and play with it. I honestly think the problem with the hydrophone is one of two things. Either I was picking up erroneous AM radio station signals, or the other boats around me were broadcasting or listening to the radio on their boat, and I was transmitting through their hulls. There's not, you know what? There's not a lot of boats around me right now this morning or tonight. So maybe because I tend to get up very early in the morning, maybe very early in the morning I'll play with the hydrophone again and see if I can record some sounds without hearing all the radio. So David here says, Bubba, I have an active interest in bees. I sub your channel. Please expect an email from me in the near future. I live on the Mississippi Golf Course. Cool. Maui, quit bragging. Yeah, I know, man. Thanks for no thanks. Good evening. Hey, Douglas Hale. Good evening. How are you? But I'm so done with timber boats, plastic or steel from now on. I agree, Mike Smith. Lee jigs. There you go, Gene. Yes, I think that's what I had was a lay jig. Yep. Lee, Gene, you have the lay jigs. Okay. Do you have the one that makes the little teddy bear ears? You know the one I'm talking about? There's one jig that makes the little teddy bear ears as part of the jig. I always wanted to get that one, and I never did. So I used, oh man, Pud Donk's very good. Yep, that makes a great cutting board. Carl, did you send the radio to me yet? No, Frank, I've not been hooked up with Doug. I've not been off the boat to go post office yet. Check for a grounding screw on the case. If it's loose, it will cause that kind of interference. Hal, there is no grounding screw on the case. The hydrophone, I only plug it directly into my my camera. It's isolated completely from the boat. So, but I will double check that. So thanks for saying that. So, AJ says, on your stool, you should consider a plastic seat from a hospital toilet chair. Easy to clean, comfortable, and available at any thrift shop cheap. Yeah, AJ, I probably should, but you know what? I've been so accustomed to sitting on a plywood box for the last 8 years up in Alaska. That's all I had up in Alaska, and it works just fine. As long as I keep it well painted and well sealed, it's easy to clean. So it works just fine for me, and I don't have to spend any money on buying a seat. Seats have a tendency to crack and break, and up there in Alaska, I learned, you know, I guess, AJ, here's the thing. Up in Alaska where it gets so cold up there in the wintertime, I found that plastic can sometimes disintegrate, especially when it's really cold. You know, when you're a fat lard ass like me and you go sit on a plastic seat, it tends to crack and break. So I really like the idea of just having the plywood box because plywood doesn't crack and break, you know. A boat got hit with exploding lava the other day in Hawaii. Wow. That would be wild. I did baskets and staggered slats from asphalt. Oh, wow. Cool, wood beast. Better a little late than ever. Hey, Dave Marshall, how you doing, buddy? I'm glad to see you here. I know of it, but I don't have it. Lay is pricey. Yes, it. Oh, okay. Yeah, lay is pricey. Absolutely. Give you some tips and a lesson or two. Okay, wood beast, that sounds cool. Harley Hub, where do you send that link? Send me a link, please. Yeah, Steve, if you're, oh, a minute, Harley Hub. Okay, I'm sorry, that has nothing to do with me. Never mind. Bubba, private beekeeping is becoming very popular here now. It should be becoming popular everywhere, Mike. We need more of that. Going to start uploading some bee videos. There you go, Bubba. Sacrificial anodes may be the issue. Really? Huh. Well, I just put brand new sacrificial anodes on the boat not 2 months ago when I was in Sandusky. I don't have very good visibility here in Manhasset Bay, but I'll try to drive down on my drive shaft and look at my sacrificial anodes and see what kind of shape they're in. Where did you see that? Send us a link, please. I'm not sure who you're talking to there, Steve, but okay. 20-some people hurt by the lava. Wow, pilot, that's nasty. All over YouTube just happened. The problem with marine toilets are they sit so damn low. Yeah, Slipstream, my toilet does not sit so damn low. My plywood box is specifically made for my height, and it's very comfortable. You could keep a hive on the boat. Oh, no, 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 no. No, I would not keep a hive on the boat. Zinc should still be good. Yeah, cool. I can't imagine they've gotten too much wear in 2 months. Is that why my knees hurt? There you go. Slipstream, nice channel. Yeah, Slipstream does have a nice channel. All right, I'm caught up with the chat. Imagine that. All right, guys, here's the sunset. We kind of missed the bulk of it. As you can see, it's a little red at night. Sailor's delight. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. I hear a lot of fire alarms or police alarms going off in the distance. So there must be something going on in Port Washington today. Actually, I'll touch base on something a little bit here. Earlier today, while I was sitting out here in the cockpit just relaxing, there was a power boat coming in the harbor, and right behind him, right up his butt, was the Nassau County police boat, and they actually stopped him literally right in front of actually just right off of my bow. And while I sat here today, the two boats, that guy's power boat that got pulled over by the cops and the police boat, drifted slowly between me and the other boat here, barely missing my anchor line, right? Barely missing my anchor line right on the front of my boat. And they kind of drifted by, and they were right over here. I mean, they weren't but, 40, 50 feet off the side of my boat. I could hear the cop talking, and he wrote the guy a citation for something. I'm not sure what, but apparently he came in the harbor a little too hot, and they stopped him and wrote him up for it. I believe that's what the case is. So now we've got a sailboat, another power boat coming in kind of late at night. The sun is already set. It's getting dark, a little late for people to be coming into an anchorage, but nonetheless, here they come. And with that said, I need a cocktail. Moon is already up, guys. Look at that. Moon is already up, and I got a spider up there in my backstay, huh? Gotta kill the spiders. Kill the spiders. So a sailboat's coming in. There's a power boat over here coming in. He was coming in. Now he just sort of stopped. Like he's just looking around. Kind of weird. So you can hear the siren. Yeah, I'm not sure what that siren's all about. Miss Lily obviously hears it too. She's up there kind of looking around. I'm telling you guys, she really likes being up on the coach roof just looking around at everything. Let me see what I missed in the chat here. Zinc should be still good. Slipstream, that's why my knees hurt, okay. Hey, Bubba, I'm glad we found each other here on Carl's channel. Thank you. Hey, David, dear, I'm glad you guys were able to find each other, too. Velcro, what a ripoff. Okay, thanks, RV. Carl, save old anodes, and when at dock and anchor, drop overboard with wire connected to ground. It helps to recycle old zinc. Huh. Save old anodes, and when at dock or anchor, drop overboard with wire connected to ground. It helps to recycle old zincs. Well, good to know, Bubba. I will consider that. Base security by Pops. Yep. Gotta go. Time to cut some firewood. Have a good night. Oh, Mike, I am so glad I don't have to do that crap anymore. I used to cut a crap load of firework up in Alaska every winter. I am so glad I don't do that anymore. Lily was probably a police K9. Yeah, probably not. Oh, in a previous life, maybe she was. Now she's just nosy about this power boat going by. She wants to know what they're doing. Look at her looking at them. Look at her looking at him. She's ducking underneath so she can see him underneath the boom. What are they doing, huh? Woof at him. Woof at him. Woof at him. Woof. Woof at him. What are they doing? Huh? What are they doing? Get him. Get him, Lily. Yeah, my big vicious attack dog, huh? Yeah, okay, they're going by. They're not making much of a noise. She's going to go lay down again. Watch her. She'll lay down. You gonna lay down or you gonna watch them? She's been nesting in the ropes. This anchor line up here. She'll dig around in that and she'll nest around in it. She's having fun with it, so. Oh, yes, no plastic. Lily loves the boat life. She really does. Did I tell you guys about my friend who took all of his anodes that were eaten up? He told me that he fixed them, he filled them with epoxy and made them look like new again. Don't mind cutting firewood. It's nice up in the bush, dodging dingoes and deadly snakes and drop bears. It's their breeding season. Yeah. Yeah, well, Mike, you know, you've got a little bit different situation than what I had up in Alaska. Up in Alaska, I only had to deal with coyotes, wolves, and bears. Of course, we had grizzly bears there, so a little different situation. You know, I'd have grizzly bears come in, and, you know, mama bear would be about 700 pounds, and she had a couple cubs with her. They'd be about 500 pounds each. So nothing more fun than being out there in the dog yard. My daughter was a sled dog musher, like as in Iditarod. She ran the junior Iditarod. She had about 50 sled dogs out there, and that was about the only thing that usually kept the bears away from our cabin was all the dogs barking. But after my divorce the last 2 years, my daughter was gone, all of her dogs were gone. It was just me and Miss Lily. Those bears got real close up next to my cabin, made me uncomfortable. But I tell you, a bigger danger than the bears up there was the moose. The moose would come up right next to the cabin. Any place where I ran the snowblower and I cleared the driveway and the parking area and the walkways to the outhouse and stuff, the moose preferred walking in those areas because it was easier than walking through the 5 feet of snow that was everywhere else on the ground. And let me tell you something, when you get up in the middle of the night, you got to go out to the outhouse and there's a moose in the trail between you and the outhouse. That is not a safe environment to be in. I always would have a 2x4 right outside the door. As soon as I head to the outhouse, I'd grab a 2x4 and take it with me. If there was a moose in the trail, I'd just throw the 8-foot 2x4 at him and smack him in the head and he'd take off. So then I would pick it up and lean it against the bathroom door. When I got done going to the bathroom, once again, I'd carry that 2x4 all the way to the cabin to get back inside. Those mooses were a big pain in the neck. Mooses are not happy campers. Mooses were born in a bad attitude, and they always live in a bad attitude. So, oh, let's see. Lily bobbing, weaving, I love it. Yeah, she enjoys the boat, man. Get your brains in a few months. They come through the mail. UPS. God, Steve, I hope so. Winded Voyage. Yeah, good channel, man. Good channel. Carl, what are anodes and what do they do? Gene, good question. Okay, anodes, sacrificial anodes is the real name, sacrificial anodes. They're usually made of zinc or aluminum or, what's the other material? Magnesium. Magnesium, zinc, or aluminum. And what you do is you put them on the drive shaft of your boat. The idea is in saltwater environments, especially around marinas, you'll have some erroneous electrical charges coming out from boats. Either the marina's wiring on their docks will be down in the water, touching the water. You'll get a lot of erroneous electrical charges. And what that will do is that will literally eat your engine. It'll eat your diesel engine. It will cause the metal to accelerate its decay. So by putting the sacrificial anodes, again, magnesium, aluminum, or zinc, on your drive shaft and also on certain places in your engine, you make a soft metal that will tend to break down easier than your engine block hopefully will. And so what it does is it protects your engine block from those stray electrical currents. That's why they call them sacrificial anodes. You put them on, you let them wear down a little bit, you replace them on a regular basis. That's basically what a sacrificial anode does. Okay, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. When did voyage? Okay, what do they do? Okay. Alex Dawson, Mike Smith. Did anyone hear about the girl being attacked by a shark in New York Harbor? Wow, John Corbett, if that's actually the case, that's the first attack by shark in New York in like many years. So, if a moose decides to attack you, it can rapidly be in a world of hurt. Yeah, Chief, mooses are not fun to play with. We have redbacks in the outhouse, or at least you can see what's going to hurt you. Okay. Redbacks. What's a redback in the? I don't know what that is, Mike. That must be an Australian thing. Lily has brains now. She'll start using them in about a year or so. Pretty much smoking. There was 2 attacks, huh? Do they have Doug's address? We have had multiple shark attacks here in Florida in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, Steve, that's nothing new down in Florida. Plastics, if they don't want, God help Carl. If they don't want, God help Carl. Plastic, if they don't want. I'm not sure what that means, Steve. What type of sharks are they? Bull sharks? Anodes are in water heaters as well. Yes, they can be, yes. I believe anodes are used in RV hot water heaters to protect the heating element from rusting. Yes, Chief, that's correct. Even though the interior metals are not in the water. That's true. Gene, the water is in your diesel engine on a sailboat. It actually takes seawater from the sea and pumps it up through the engine to cool it. Like your car has a radiator and has coolant in it that flows through there. On boats, on diesel engines like mine in the salt water, it actually pulls the seawater into the engine and cools it and then pumps it back overboard. So it's important that you have those anodes to protect your engine from that. Pilot, nobody saw what bit them. That's what's crazy. Okay. Redbacks are little spiders that bite, kill, have a little. Oh, okay, Michael, that's good to know. Love hiding under sunny seats. Yeah. Yeah, we have what's known as recluse spiders up in Alaska. Little recluse spiders. Those are pretty nasty. Same basic thing, I guess. So, I mean, I guess you're going to find those things everywhere if you look for them or got your head out of your butt. So, one boy, one girl, dunny seats. Ah, right, toilet seats. Okay, sunny seats. Yep. Dunny seats, otherwise known as an outhouse. Yes, I can relate to that, ma'am. I can relate to that. So, oh, guys, it's been a great evening sitting here talking with you. It really has. It's getting dark now. The moon is out. The sun has set. Let me show you the view out this direction. You see some of the boats coming into the harbor late. They're coming in to find their anchors, and some boats are going out, which is pretty surprising actually to me. I don't know why they would be going out at this hour, but whatever. People are weird. Sun's already set. Seems like it's a pretty good time to find some place to drop your anchor. Gets it secure and snug for the evening. Anyhow, that's what it looks like to the, what would that be? That would be to the west for me. That's to the east. That's Port Washington, New York, up there on that hill. To the south, that's Great Neck, New York. You see the moon shining to the south. Great Neck is a fairly affluent neighborhood. A lot of really high-end houses over there. A lot of rich people have lived over there. Robert Louis Stevenson and a few other people in American history. And that's Port Washington, Manhasset Bay over in that area. For those of you guys that don't know, Port Washington, Manhasset Bay became world famous in the early 1940s. This is where Pan Am started flying out the clipper ships. The very first airplanes that used to take off and land in the sea. They didn't take off from land like they do now. The original airplanes were called clipper ships, and they were basically flying boats. And right here in Port Washington, in fact, right over about there in that area, that's where Pan Am World Headquarters was when they first started flying the clipper ships. This is where they started from, here in Port Washington. In fact, in 1943, my dear old dad, same name as me, Carl Brook, but Carl Kenneth Brook, was hired out of Ohio State University as an engineer, as a surveyor. He was hired by Pan American World Services, or Pan American Airlines at the time, to survey over in that direction a little piece of swampland that's now called Kennedy Airport. So in 1943, my dad's office was right over in there at the old seaplane base where they were taking off the clipper ships. And what he was working on was surveying the ground over in Kennedy Airport so they could literally build the ground. They actually had to build the ground. They had to haul sand over to Kennedy Airport and fill in the swamp, which is what Kennedy Airport is built on now. So JFK International Airport in New York is actually built on swampland. In 1943, my dad was surveying that ground to build that airport. He ended up working for Pan Am his entire career as a civil engineer and retired as a staff vice president for Pan American World Services. True story. And for all those trolls out there that think I'm lying, well, you're idiots. So, true story. That's what my dad did. So, okay, somebody threw a wake, and as you can see, I'm rolling back and forth here in the boat. Some idiot went by a little too fast with a little too much horsepower. Miss Lily had to stand up because she was going to roll off the deck up there. All of a sudden, the boat was rocking and rolling. Let me see what I missed in the chat here, kids. Okay. Oh, well, we got to go way back. Even though the materials aren't in the water, pilot, nobody saw what bit them. Okay, redbacks, little spiders, one baby, one girl, dunny seats. Gotcha, I've been out in plumbing for 30 years and forgot about anodes and hot water heaters. There you go, Gene. Steve says, Carl, we've been having people coming in left and right at all time of the night here. I have no method to the madness. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Night fishing could be good. Well, maybe so. Carl, you seem to be pretty far out in the bay. I am, Mark. I'm kind of out in the middle of the bay. I like being out in the middle of the bay. I enjoy my privacy out here. I can go chunky dunk off the back of my boat first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening, which I do every day, and I don't have to worry about anybody. So nobody seems to be bothered by it. Are the fish awake? I have no idea. Pilot is a magic hour here for fishing. Carl, when you able to catch flounder, I think that's what you call them. Yeah, slipstream, usually as high tide on an incoming tide is a good spot, but what I found out here, slipstream, what I knew as a child, what I knew when I grew up in this town has changed. Used to be I could go to the town dock over here on the incoming tide and catch 40 and 50 flounder in a tide. Today, that no longer is the case, sadly. You can't catch flounder like that anymore. In fact, now all I can catch is something called a fluke, which is a flounder-like fish, but not quite the same. But I have to go out of the bay into deeper water in order to do that. So I guess that's just a sad commentary on the times. So. Hey, Drive Shaft Drew, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Great being in the water with you tonight, Captain. Sorry I missed most of it, but I have a grandson playing a Babe Ruth baseball playoff game. Had to attend that first. Hey, Chief, no problem, man. Priorities, dude. I understand. I had a retired Clipper pilot on one of my flights. He was very interesting to talk to. Hey, cool. That's cool. Carl, I'm going to Lowe's to buy some self-contained lawn lights to put around my boat. Saw a boat the other evening with them, and the boat was quite visible. Maybe someone can expand on this. Okay, so what David Deere is talking about is these lawn lights that you can buy that are solar-powered, individual. And yeah, David, I've seen a lot of people take some like hose clamps just like this one here. Little misshapen, and they'll buy those individually solar powered yard lights at a Home Depot or something, and attach them to their stanchions. You see, like right there on my boat, that pipe sticking up that holds up my lifelines. You can attach them to that, and you can use those. I would love to buy a set of those. I don't have the funds for that right now. So, welcome, Drive Shaft. Wow, cool. Yeah, thank you, Daniel, Frank Daniels. Yeah, paypal.me/Carl Brook, guys. Should you want to contribute to the cause, and believe me, I could really use it right now. That would be great if somebody could hit my PayPal. So, Sailing SV Slipstream, hello. PayPal.me/Carl Brook. Thanks, Billy. I was in Fire Island. Oh, cool, John. Oh, the newcomers. Steve, Maui Lake, $100 on Super Chat. Steve, thank you so much, dude. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that right now, Steve. I really cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. You rock, dude. Thank you for contributing to the Super Chat. That was really awesome of you. The content's getting better. The conversation is getting better. Of course, I'll do this. Thank you, Steve, man. You rock, dude. You rock. Doing okay. Thank you. Hey, Drive Chef, dude. David Deere. Okay, guys, my battery's about to run out. I'm going to have to end this here pretty soon. Sandra Livingston donated $50 on PayPal. That is such a huge relief to me to have somebody donate to my PayPal. Thank you, Sandra Livingston. You rock. I really appreciate that. And I assume Sandra Livingston is actually, okay, I'm blocking. Is that Jim or Steve? I forget. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. I'm really about they work great. I think everybody can chip in $5. Billy, $40 on PayPal. Billy LaFon. Thank you, William. Super dude. I really appreciate it, Billy. Thank you very much, guys. Man, you guys are saving me here. I really appreciate that. I was getting really worried about finances right now. I'm down to kind of like bottom dollar at the moment. So I really appreciate you guys contributing. Thank you very much, Billy. If someone can't find privacy on the ocean, they aren't looking very hard. Privacy on the ocean, yeah. Well, when you're in anchorage like this, it becomes a bit of a different issue. We're dealing with a very small little piece of the ocean. So, hey Steve, better to hit the PayPal deal versus the Super Chat. Yeah, he knows that, Billy. It's okay, man. Yep, it's easier for Steve to do that, and I have no problem with it. Hey, 9mm James, how you doing? There you go, 9mm James, as in James. Yes, thank you, James. I don't know if it was you or your wife, but thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. Bobby informed me of that. Yep. The shark attack was in Fire Island. Really? The shark attack was Fire Island? Wow. That's really odd, John. Huh. Fire Island doesn't usually get a lot of shark attacks, so. Man, you guys rock. I tell you what, for the donation, Super Chat, and the PayPal, you have no idea what a relief that is to me right now. I mean, I've got my paycheck coming in on the 21st, and more than half of it has to go just to pay my phone bill. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm going to buy groceries this next month, you know. Got to buy dog food and stuff, so. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Miss Lily appreciates that. So, use up solar lights for nav lights in the keys. That's bad. Oh, smoking and buffering. I'm sorry. Not legal, but they do it. Yep, no do. Okay. Let me give you guys another little look at the sunset. There's the sunset over there. That's New Rochelle Road, New York. That's actually across Long Island Sound. You're looking at on the north shore of Long Island. I'm on the south shore of Long Island. Very, very red. There's a powerboat out there making its way across. The lights are coming on. All the lights are coming on around the bay. Richard Williams, thank you very much. Richard Williams just hit my PayPal. Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. You rock. Absolutely rock. Thank you, Richard Williams, for hitting my PayPal. Unfortunately, I had the camera aimed the wrong way. I wasn't able to read it quick enough to see the amount, Richard, but I really appreciate that, man. I've been I've been getting a little worried lately, so thank you very much. See them on the outboards and tenders. Red and green juice. Hey, talking about that, Akula, I gotta tell you, there's a sailboat here in the bay that came in today, and I'll tell you what, I was out on the water taxi today. I was out on their launch. The dinghy for the sailboat monohull that came in the harbor today. The dinghy was bigger than the water taxi. I kid you not. They had like a 22-foot dinghy on the side of the sailboat. It was insane. I'll try to get some footage of it. I haven't videotaped it yet, but I'll try to get some footage of it. It was really wild. So, $10, Richard. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate it, Richard. I don't care if it's $1. Every dollar is very useful to me right now, Richard. So thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. Carl, you have an awesome community. No plastic? I certainly do. I certainly do, man. I certainly do. So I got news for you, that group. I really appreciate them. Carl, no hookers. Yeah, Billy, I can assure you no hookers. So, oh man, you guys got to see this face. Is that not a face, huh? Huh? Is that not a face? She lays up on deck and she uses the rope as sort of a bed. She'll scratch around in it and get the rope position where it's comfortable for her. And then she'll just lay down in the ropes like that. That's where I threw all that anchor rope. You see the anchor rope underneath there a minute ago. That's her bed. Look at her. Look at her laying there on the bed. You guys can't tell me that's not a sailing dog right there. That's a sailing dog right there when she digs up the anchor rope to make it into a comfortable bed for herself. Oh, Frank, you should do a channel on curing meat. Yeah, you should. Great live stream. Will donate when my funds allow. Hey, John, I appreciate it, buddy. I really do. Lily is home. She certainly is no plastic. She certainly is. Look at that. You ready to turn in? You want to go down below? Or you like it up on deck? She may just spend the night up there. No, I will make sure. I won't go to bed unless she's down below with me. But you can't tell me that dog isn't just super comfortable right there. Oh, she's a good dog. Oh, she's a good dog. Yes, you are. You a good dog. You a good girl? You a good girl? Huh? You a good girl? Yo, yes, you are. Yes, you are. No, don't get up. Don't get up. Go ahead and lay down. Lay down. Sit. 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 Down. Oh, it's a good dog. There you go. Oh, yes. She says such an abusive life. I'm telling you guys. Yes, Frank would like to see that. Okay, understood. I parked next to that boat, and they really light the deck quite well. I was impressed. He was another sailor on a basic budget, too, which is why I like the idea. Yeah, David, I like the idea, too. She's content. Billy, she really is. Hey, David Marshall. If you head north after you get your boat fixed, I can bring you a north. How could you bring me a rib north? A double hull. It's old but works. Just bought a new dink. I could bring it as far south as Newport, Rhode Island. David, I thought you were down in Florida. You're up in Newport, Rhode Island? I thought you were down south. I'm confused now, David. Man, if you've got a good dinghy for me up in Newport, Rhode Island, I assure you, as soon as I get the work done on my boat here, I will head up that way. Absolutely, because my little inflatable floor, not inflatable floor, slat floor dinghy is just a little too small for me. Even I would much rather an older, bigger dinghy. 10-foot rib, older, that would be fine, ma'am. I thought about it, spoken, maybe when it gets cooler and I make salami and prosciutto again, I will make a video of the process, add it to my present channel. There you go, Frank. That could be cool. Yeah, David, I really appreciate that, ma'am. I really would. Boy, more sirens going on tonight, guys. You can tell them around New York. Too funny. Into my cocktail, guys. Let me tell you what I'm drinking this evening. This is the end of that red stuff. What was it called? Malibu Red. I had to look down there in the garbage can. That was the end of the Malibu Red. And what I did is I filled the glass full of ice, poured in all the Malibu Red, dumped a can of pineapple juice on top of it. For those of you guys that don't know, Malibu Red is rum and tequila and coconut liqueur all mixed together, 70 proof. I added to that a can of pineapple juice and a little bit of lime juice. Finished off my lime juice. And man, I'll tell you what, it made a delicious cocktail this evening. It really did. It made a very, very tasty, fruity, tropical kind of cocktail. So I kind of made me wish I was down in the Caribbean right now, but instead I'm up here on Long Island. But that's all right. We're making progress, slow and sure. We will get there, and we'll get there after hurricane season. We'll have a ball down there. So, oh, thank you, Billy. I appreciate putting the link for that. Somebody else put there a little one. Okay, a little one lights. David, all sailors are on a budget. That's true, Akula. Thanks, David. Yes, I agree. He owes you another 20 minutes. All right, come on. I've already done 20 minutes, guys. It's getting dark out here now. Drive Shaft Drew says, well, nice seeing you again, but off to bed for me. 5 a.m. comes soon. Hey, Drive Shaft, take care, man. Good night. Yeah, legal on the smoking. Just Frank Daniels, thanks. Okay. Yeah, guys, come on. Now, I've been good. I've tried to be cooperative here. I've gone late, very, very late. We were at 82 minutes already on the second half of the live stream. The fact is, I have to pee here pretty soon, so that's going to end the live stream here. Because the last thing you guys want to see me do is dropping 10 inches out and peeing. So, in my dreams, huh? Yeah, right. Come on, we all know that story, right? We all know that story. Hey, I'll tell you a little story, guys. I've had enough alcohol now. I'll have a little fun with it. You know, you guys all know, and this is to the guys. This is not for the ladies. This is for the guys. But you guys know what it's like when it's cold outside, right? You know how things tend to retract, for lack of a better term. Well, living up in Alaska, it was so damn cold. Not only did it retract, it pulled itself back inside and slammed the barn doors closed. It said, "To hell with that shit. I ain't going out in that stuff." It was cold. It was damn cold up there. You go out to the outhouse when it's minus 30 degrees, man, I'll tell you what. That sucker pulled back inside so fast it damn near popped out the other side. So, it was cold. Now, I have to admit, being here in Port Washington in the summertime, the temperatures are getting up in the 90s and cool nights in the 75 degrees and stuff. Everything is nice and comfortable, so... Anyhow, a little TMI for late night, guys. But this is late night with Carl. We get a little raunchy late night, you know. Oh, gosh. Oh, No Plastic says good night, everybody. I've not heard that name for them. Okay. You're right about that.